Banjo-Tooie. What a wonderful game. But how wonderful is it? Now, look at front cover. Why is Mumbo so small compared to Banjo? And why is Tooie like jumping out of the side of the backpack or something like that? And it's definitely not as colorful as the first one. But let's check out the game itself. Okay, Banjo-Tooie, let's start the game. Oh my god. Look at how big the menu is compared to Banjo-Kazooie. You have free files, you can delete files, you can copy files, you have options, you have a multiplayer mode, but I can't show you that mode because I only have one controller. And there's the replay value, which I'm gonna show you later on in the review. But first the adventure mode. The game starts with an opening scene, and it's the longest opening scene I've ever seen in my life. Literally, it takes like 10 minutes or something. But it's really entertaining, so if you haven't seen it, I recommend you to see the whole opening scene. But you can also just skip it. When you get control of a character, the first thing you're gonna realize is that the graphics are gorgeous. This has gotta be seriously the best graphics on Nintendo 64. Even better than Majora's Mask. The textures are so well done, everything looks different, the shadings make perfect sense, and best of all, Banjo has a real shaped shadow, not just a cheap ring like in the first game. Look, the shadow stretches in the opposite direction of the light. And look at this, two lights make two shadows, that makes perfect sense. Not even Twilight Princess makes this effect. Instead, the shadow is stretching in the opposite direction of the closest light. The second thing you're gonna realize is that you have all the moves from the previous game. Like the Talon Trot, yep. The Beak Buster, yep. Some of the moves are a little bit upgraded, some of the moves are a little bit changed, and some of the moves are completely replaced. Like, Banjo doesn't scratch like a pussy anymore. Instead, Kazooie is doing this move like she's doing in the air, but now on the ground. So it was really pointless to add that. As well as having all the moves from the previous games, you also have new moves like aiming and shooting, shooting in the air, shooting in the water, shooting different eggs, shoes that make you jump high, shoes that make you walk along tracks in the wall, drill beak buster, town torpedo, Briggle bash, and the list goes on and on. You learn the moves by this new character called Jam Jars, and he sounds a lot like Luigi.
That's Mama Luigi to you, Mario!
Now he requires notes in order to learn any moves. You remember the notes from Banjo-Kazooie? You use them to unlock note doors, but this time you use them to learn moves. Here comes the problem, because this time the collection system is really downgraded. Let me show you what I mean. Did you see that? That note gave me 5 notes. Yes, that's right. For every note you collect, you get 5 notes. And then there's these big notes called the note keys that give you 20 notes. And since there's 15 regular notes that give you 5 notes in every level, and one of these big notes means that there are only 16 notes to collect in each level, which makes it way too easy to collect all the notes in the level. Look, I already found all the 100 notes, and I just started the level. So I won't find any more notes anywhere in the rest of the level. The jiggies are also a bit downgraded in this game. Instead of finding 100 jiggies, you only get to find 90. But they're a lot harder to find this time, so that's a good thing. And you also get to stack them on a wall by yourself. But the bad thing is that there's no challenge anymore finding the picture. You always go to the same place. The gingers are also a bit downgraded, because there's almost no reason to collect them. There's not one family for each level or something like that. The families are spread all around in the whole game, which means it's way too hard to collect a whole family. It's hard to explain, but it's just annoying. It was a lot better in Banjo-Kazooie. And just in order to give you another reason not to bother with these gingers, they also added a few fake gingers. This game is bad. This game is ass. This game is badass. I know I'm ripping way too much on this game. I mean, I want this review to become positive. I mean, after all, this is one of my favorite games of all time. But there are so many things in this game that make up for the messed up collection system. You want to know the coolest addition to this game? The really coolest addition? Is the ability to split up the characters. Yes, now you can control Banjo alone or Kazooie alone. When Banjo is alone, he can use his backpack to swing around, jump inside it and protect himself, do other kind of strange stuff and sleep inside it. While Kazooie can do high jumps and fly and stuff. Mumbo is also returning, and he doesn't transform into things anymore. Instead, you actually get to control him, and then unleash his magic. Holy crap, I'm controlling this giant golden statue. My controls just went over from Banjo-Kazooie to Mumbo, and then the golden statue. You're gonna control so much strange in this game. Talk about that, the transformations are not gone in this game. You transform into things by this new character called Hamba Wamba. There's so much cool stuff you can transform into. Look at all this. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, check this out. Oh, submarine. Oh, you can even control a snowball. Wow, that's awesome. And oh, you can control a washing machine. That is cool. The game also has some very cool linking ways to collect jiggies. Let me show you on a piece of paper. So here there are two kids who want to bath in this water. But the water is way too cold, so you travel here to a fire level where there is hot water. And now you're supposed to bring all this water over to this cold water. But this water is way too hot. So then you travel to this level in the sky. And then there's this eye cube, so you push this thing down, it falls into the water. And then the water gets a normal temperature, or it's still real hot, but not way too hot. And then you open the gate like this, and all the water is flowing, and the water gets normal temperature, and now the kids can bath inside it. That is creative. The level design can always be really funny. Look when you climb up the waterfall. You're gonna get in the river there. How do you do that? You turn on the talon truck, and then you run around the hole, around the waterfall you climbed up, and there we go. But you cannot always just take a simple jump over the river, or simply just swim across the river. Is that bottom part mirroring in the water? No, it's magically identical to the top. There are also cheat codes in this game, and they're a lot more unlimited than in the first game. You can make your character run faster, and you can even give yourself infinite health. That wasn't in the first game. Why did they include it this time? Maybe they have started trusting the players. That's a good thing. Before ending the review, let me show you the replay value as I promised. You can replay minigames, boss battles, and cinema. In the minigames section, there's mostly just going for rings or shooting targets. Not really groundbreaking, but it's fun. And then there's boss battles. Yes, this game actually has boss battles. Every single level got its own boss battle. There are boss battles like Mr. Patch, where you fight in the air. Boss battles like Lord Woo Fuck Fuck, where you fight underwater. You even get to fight Klungo. And then there's Weldar, which is the hardest boss battle in the whole game. Ah, screw it. Well, another masterpiece reviewed. It wasn't as good as the first one. It lost a little bit of the charm, but it has so much new and amazing that wasn't in the first game. So it's still a really good game.